Salutations and hello, fellow fools and travelers. Today is April 8th, 2024, and a day I've been looking forward to for quite some time. Today, much of North America is going to be encountering nearly a full eclipse. They say about eclipses that good things happen during eclipses, which is why I'm going ahead and posting an episode today. Tell me your thoughts on this. Some think of this as superstitious omen. Some people think it's it's the end of the world, little thing like that. Tell me what you think the eclipse brings. Brand new recording toy, my peeps. Tascam X8 Porta Studio Recorder. I love field recording units. This guy is just awesome. We go boop, power on, get it into frame, and we have pretty digital screen. Ooh. And before we get into this stimulating round of subreddits, I'd like to apologize for going 0 for March in broadcasts. Simply put, this has been the worst month for every single person, including the cat, who's also the editor, for everyone in this household. We've all had our medical issues, and it feels like we've spent the entire month of March fighting those. But all apologies. Now, on to it. Today, I think we're going to go ahead and keep on delving into that nice nether realm of subreddits. We're going to go with the tried and the true, the am I the particularly unattractive orifice? Am I the a-hole? And we're also going to go ahead and just choose a subreddit thread at random and see what we can glean from that. Are you ready? Ready to all buckled up? I've got my Jack Zero. I've got my willingness to read. Let's go ahead and get at it. Yes, in the time that last clip came, I have changed my shirt. Skating Polly! Went to the show recently, and it's red. Deal with it. First, am I the butthole? Am I the butthole for refusing to wear a bra when my roomie's boyfriend stays over? I don't wear a bra at home. I go to college, then library, and then work, and then gym. You are one type A personality. I am out at 7 a.m. and back at 10 p.m. Usually I take a quick shower when I get home, then make a snack and just relax for an hour before bedtime. On weekends, I barely leave the apartment besides the occasional outing with friends or colleagues. My roommate and I are very close, but now she has been biting my head off about me not wearing a bra at home. I was confused. I think I would be too. Then she explained that it was about her boyfriend. I laughed in her face and told her to put a bra in his eyes instead. She got very upset, but I told her that I wasn't interested in her boyfriend, not in the slightest. She got offended and said that he wasn't interested in me either, so I said, then why are we arguing? It is only an issue if we were interested in each other. Tell him next time he sees me braless, he can pretend that I'm a wall. According to her, it wasn't about interest but being invasive, and he felt uncomfortable. Would you think that it was fine if he showed his D? Okay, we can all imagine what D is. I called her stupid because I was in my home. I wouldn't go braless in his home, and if he chose to go naked in his home, the only right I have is to get the H out of there. She called me the AH. Am I?
We get so wrapped up in our that it becomes biology, that we...
Generally speaking, my peeps, like when they talk about how it's traditionally a man's world and how we're having a very tough time getting away from that, and that there is an entitlement towards men that they don't even recognize, stuff like this is what they're talking about. One reply, next time her boyfriend comes in, say loudly, "My eyes are up here!" LOL. He won't know what the hell you're talking about because he never complained about your braless state. Better yet, get a t-shirt printed and wear it every time he's over. That's an inventive way. Another reply here. I would literally just ask him, does me being comfortable in my own home make you uncomfortable? Or is your girlfriend just making a big deal out of nothing? There's a little bit of tea there. Here's my own take. The very first thing that I think right away is like, why is it always about the dude? Okay? About his perception and about how comfortable he is. She's in her home. He's got a pair of eyeballs that he can direct anywhere he wants. He can just choose to do the gentlemanly thing and not look. Uh, Very thoroughly, not the butthole here. Next up on Am I the A-hole? Am I the a-hole for not buying special groceries? Intriguing. Let's read on. My son, 30, and his family decided to live the van life. This lasted about 2 weeks, then my husband gets a call at 11 p.m. from my son. They are in Cali. The baby is in the hospital and they have no money. We send them $500 to get home. They drive all night to get here, and my son and wife go to bed. We fed our granddaughters breakfast. My son got irate because we fed them gluten. He expected us to go to the store and buy gluten-free food for them all. I said we just sent them $500 and couldn't afford to go buy a bunch of food, and that they should provide that when they visit someone's home. A huge fight ensued, and they left. Am I the a-hole for not providing that food? Well, before we get into the replies on this guy, fundamentally I would say no. Uh, Now, it's very strange to me that this is like a very, very young child and they're being fed gluten-free stuff. I mean, that stuff is like primarily meant for people who have allergies, if I'm not mistaken. And at the age that I'm guessing that these are, they're a little too young to like know whether that's an allergy or not, or like that's acting up. Is this like a preference, like by the parents that their kids don't eat gluten? I'm not sure about this one at all. But I would say if you just sent $500, I would say that you're relatively relieved of having to provide much of anything else, especially when you're taking them in when they get in at 11 p.m. at night. I mean, you have their money, fam. I mean, you've already got $500. Like, gluten-free food is pretty damn expensive, but I mean, I imagine you can buy quite a bit of it with $500. Surely, by driving all night, you could have gone en route to somewhere where you could have feed the kid what you want. And if I'm not mistaken, uh, you can't really be tested for celiac disease or gluten allergies until you're like about 3 years old. And this says that it's the baby that's in the hospital. So I'm not entirely sure what's going on there, but relatively speaking, I mean, I would think these grandparents, they've already provided everything that you definitely shouldn't be an expectation at this point. A reply from someone on the same subreddit. You'd think a family living the van life has the discipline, ability to plan, and financial resources to conduct an elimination diet. Possibly, but my friends living the van life with their kids barely get their teeth brushed regularly. Sad state of affairs. But I basically would agree. Like, there's got to be a sense of self-resourcefulness here. Like, if you're going to be living this kind of life. Another one. Oh, okay, yeah. Just an FYI, tests for celiac are inconclusive before the age of 3. So the children, depending on age, could have celiac disease. Celiac disease isn't like an allergy, though. You're literally causing damage to the intestinal tract that can become very severe. Really good point, poster. Really good. I remember hearing something like, yeah, that celiac isn't conclusive until age of 3 myself, although I must admit I don't know about the exact science on there. I myself suffer from no allergies and I really don't know how they work. But to me, this is kind of seeming more like the the parents of the kids are more insisting on this for like nutritional reasons more than anything else. So I gotta say, not the butthole, and like hopefully that everyone resolves this and like it comes to their senses on this. Am I the a-hole for refusing to make breakfast for my father-in-law? Okay, I'll bite. I, 25 female, recently got married 8 months to my 28-year-old husband. My father-in-law came to visit 3 days ago, and when he arrived late at night, I was shocked because we were not expecting him until a day ago. I am heavily pregnant, and I could easily pop any time from now. My energy levels have dropped significantly, and I can barely do any housework. Now, the day he arrived, I was lucky because I had prepared the meal in bulk for meal prep, as I'm doing this to save energy. So I served him the food, and it wasn't a problem at all. Now, fast forward to today. My father-in-law has an interview, but last night both him and my husband didn't let me know what time he was going to leave. All right. On the face of it, that sounds like bad communication. I was woken up early morning by my husband to iron his father's clothes. I didn't want to, but I did it. I haven't been well lately due to pregnancy, and getting out of bed is a bit hard. My husband then went on to scroll on his phone while I did the ironing. He didn't bother to at least boil water for his father's breakfast. After I was done ironing, he asked why I hadn't made breakfast for his father and went on to say I don't love his relatives. I went back to bed and told him I wasn't well and that I wasn't going to make breakfast. You are pregnant! Where is the empathy here? He went on to say he can't wait for me to go to my parents after I give birth. I'm meant to stay at my parents and learn a few things about the baby because I've become useless. Ooh, we've gone straight from insensitivity to like flat out a-holeness from somebody else. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just say right now, not the a-hole. Let's see. And like exactly, okay, when you get married, and I realize that this is a marriage that's very much in its like beginning phases, uh, your post doesn't really specify how long you've been together before you got married. But this is showing on a couple different fronts a severe lack of communication, which I think that your husband is probably like cardinally guilty about. Like a, and secondly, when you're this pregnant, when you could literally go at any time and like be have to be rushed into labor and like go rushed into the hospital, I myself can't see like why you should be expected to do anything like this. I mean, ironing clothes. Are you telling me that your father-in-law like has gone this far in life without learning how to iron his own damn shirt? I mean, I admit I don't do it very often because I have a job that doesn't really require me to iron clothes a whole lot. But I mean, I know how to do it. And certainly I wouldn't be expecting like breakfast and like my shirt being ironed with someone who's very pregnant and like is getting just exhausted just by existing right now. Like there's like all kinds of expectations here and they sound pretty damn wrong. All right, first things first, like calling you useless is just really emotional abuse, and I really hope you get away from this man when you go ahead and go to your parents, because I can all but guarantee this is only the precursor. This is only the tip of the iceberg of the problems that you're gonna be having, and no one deserves to live in misery over like this sort of abuse. This is a whoever this man is, he does not deserve to be married. He doesn't deserve like much of anything. And he has some serious problems he needs to straighten out regarding attitudes towards women. One reply I have found. Oh dear, not the asshole at all. This is so awful to read. Your husband is a giant a-hole. You're getting treated like a servant, a maid, and not an equal partner. Is there any chance that you can go to your parents or good friends? I would not stay in this hostile environment. Please visit the subreddit abusive relationships for more information how to leave this marriage. You deserve a partner who is loving and respecting you. No one should call another human useless. This is an abusive relationship and it will only get worse by now. I hope you find the strength in this difficult situation to leave. 100% agree. Cat! Well, initially, I had plans to dig into yet another subreddit on this video, but it's taken so much time to get even here that I've decided that I'm just going to go ahead and keep this the way that it is and make a new episode much more promptly. Thank you all for making it to the end of this episode. It is so appreciated that you have no idea. And if you feel so inclined, do please subscribe. No pressure, but you'd make me very happy if you did, if I saw you on that subscription list. Keep your minds ready, keep your thoughts steady, and remember, they consider our minds bought and paid for in these insane times. Do something, anything, to prove them wrong. This has been a Wash of Static. We are signing off for now. We'll see you again soon. I think I shall hold a contest. And this contest will be, how many shirts is Gerodius wearing during this whole episode? Almost everyone is going to be able to tell this was just put together like through various days of shooting. Right. On to the next subreddit.